Yo, Darkpawra here, back for another MegaTen video, and I just want to say, wow, a lot of new subs coming in. Thank you for all your nice comments, much love. I guess the almighty YouTube algorithm really likes that tips video. So today I'm going to show you how I build a simple demon. This is mainly going to be about the resources and methods that I use to play out of Fusion. I've never actually played a demon focused character, so I'm not going to be offering much advice on the best moves and demons, because I simply don't know. So the obvious step one, we need to pick a demon to build. New players may think that you need to pick one of the generally accepted top tier demons in order to go anywhere in this game. It's actually not a major factor at all. If you build them right, any demon can be powerful enough to do all the content this game has to offer. There's a player called Ariaru who's well known for taking a Shisa into the endgame, and that Shisa kicks ass. So with that in mind, I'm just going to pick a demon based purely off the design, and the best way to do that, well, one of the ways you can do that is come to this page, Demonic Compendium on Sesho. And it shows you a headshot of all the demons, and you can click into them to see just their full picture and all their stats. So they're grouped by alignment and also their family. So I've always been a fan of the Electric Doggo Raiju. So we're going to pick a Raiju for this example build. So the first thing that I normally look at is the demon's features, because this is going to give you a good idea of what niche this demon is trying to fill. So we can see we have Electricity Boost, boosting electric attacks by 50%. We have Electric Reserve, which will null electric based attacks. And then we have Nimble, which negates slash based damage based on its level. And Protean, which is basically the same thing but for charge based damage. So what I understand from these four features is that Raiju is meant to be using electric attacks, and it's also a lot more defensive than most demons are. And you may think that it's pretty obvious if you look at a Raiju that it uses electric attacks. It's often not obvious what element that the demon's meant to be using. The thing I look at next is its base stats, and what I'm looking for is if it's better in any particular stat, those being close range, long range, and spell. Now you can see this Raiju, it is better in long range, but they're all pretty even. So you could theoretically take Raiju in any direction. It can be close range spin attacker, or it could be a long range rapid, or it could be a spell caster that uses elemental attacks. Something you should keep in mind, if you're going to keep this demon for the long term, you can take a look at its Mitama features and Mitama stats. So right at the bottom we have Mitama statistics and Mitama features. Now Mitama is definitely the most complex mechanic in this game, but if I had to put it simply, after a lot of training you can unlock the Mitama form for your demon, which boosts its stats and changes its features. So if this is going to be the end result of your demon, you should probably base your build around these statistics and features. So comparing the Mitama features of Raiju to its normal features, we see that it lost the electric null, but gained electric stack +1, which means whenever it uses an electric move, you will automatically be able to use that move again without waiting for the cooldown and the incant of using it again. And this can go up to like +3, even higher, but in this case we just have electric stack +1. And as for the stats, the close range actually pulls quite far ahead of the other ones. So if I were to make a build for a Mitama Raiju, I'd probably go with an electric based close range build. Okay, so we've picked our demon to build, now we can move on to planning out its creation. First off, we can find out how it's fused, so here we go, fusion information. It says try fusion no, so that means it's a double fusion. Double fusion 101 time. Let's take an example demon. So we'll take Dwarf. We can click into it, and we see that it's the race of Earth Element. We can click into that, and now we have a list of all the Earth Element demons based on their level, and we also have here family combinations. So these combinations will always fuse together to create an Earth Element. Like a Beast and a Wilder fused together will always create an Earth Element. But which Earth Element will it create? The way you find that out is you add up the two levels of the demons that you're fusing. So if we wanted to make a Dwarf, we can look at the fusion range here, 48 to 59. If the two levels of the two demons we fused together adds up to a number that falls within that range, it'll become a Dwarf. There is one other aspect to double fusion that you should keep in mind, and it's when you're fusing with an elemental. These are Earthies, Eros, Aquans, and Flamies. Depending on which elemental you use in the fusion, you will either upgrade or downgrade the demon you are fusing with the elemental. So if you take a Dwarf and try and fuse it with an Earthies or an Eros, it will be upgraded into a Saru Tahiko. But if you fuse that same Dwarf with an Aquans or a Flamies, it'll be downgraded into a Buckaboo. but some of the higher tiered families don't let you upgrade and they'll only let you downgrade, like maybe Nation Ruler. We'll take a look. Yep, every single elemental says down, so you won't be able to upgrade, you can only downgrade. There are many demons that you need to unlock the right to fuse. We call these plugin demons. Raiju is actually one of them, so we see plugin, yes. Plugins are obtained through many ways: quests, boss drops, item mixing. Plugin demons don't abide by fusion ranges or family combinations like we were just looking at with the dwarf. They always require specific demons to be fused together to make them. In this case, we need an Inugami and a Nue to make a Raiju. But if I hadn't unlocked the Raiju plugin yet, and I tried to fuse a level 37 Nue with a level 18 Inugami, that combination actually equals a dwarf, beast, and wilder. But once I've unlocked the plugin, any level Nue and Inugami will always fuse into Raiju. So from here I would boot up the trusty old notepad and start writing out useful information about the demon I'm trying to fuse. So we've got its family, its name, its level, and normally its fusion range, but in this case all I have to do is type in the demons I am going to be using to make it. The next step is to choose some moves. Now, one thing you should know about moves is that the parents of any fusion will automatically pass their moves down to the child of the fusion. So if we take a move like Lightning Cannon, you can see here, inheritance all. That means no matter what the demon is, Lightning Cannon will always pass from the parent to the child. But there are some moves like Wing Flap, which have inheritance wings, which can only be passed down if the demon is tagged with the wing inheritance. So we see here with Raiju, it has wings N, so N for no. It's not able to inherit Wing Flap. But it has a lot of yeses on a lot of the inheritances, so it has a wide variety of moves that it can inherit, and most of the moves that people want these days have inheritance all anyway, so you won't need to worry about it unless it's something very specific. So what moves to pick for our Raiju build? This is probably a very daunting task for a new player that doesn't know any of the moves, but there is a list of every demon skill, and here we see demon skills on Sesho. It has them grouped in their action type, so attack, spin, rush, and affinities too, electric, almighty. I like to go with spin attacks because they're able to take out entire rooms of a dungeon very easily. So we'll open up the spin category and we see we have a bunch of different moves, but only a few of them are the electric type that we're looking for. We have electrical discharge, trembling electrical discharge, shockwave, and trembling shockwave. Now the trembling ones are just the upgraded versions of the original, but trembling is kind of an endgame thing, so it's not really something that new players are going to have access to. So we're going to just focus on electrical discharge and shockwave. Now you see here, it also shows which stat they're using in damage calculation. So electrical discharge is the one we're going to want because it's close range, while shockwave is spell. Some other useful information is it shows the inheritance, both of them being all, which is great, and it also shows the cost of using the move. So electrical discharge has HP 13%. Used every time you use that move, you're going to be losing 13% HP. So discharge seems like the one we want, so we'll type that into the document. Now you might notice an issue with only having electrical discharge as our main attacking move. Eventually we're going to run into an enemy that nulls electricity, and we'll also run out of HP because it's going to reduce our HP by 13% each time we use it. Luckily for us, there is a move that deals with both of these negatives, and it's called Vamp Cyclone. Just here, Vamp Cyclone. Mystic, close range, all, MP 20. Now if you look into Vamp Cyclone, we see it inflicts mystic-based damage on all enemies in the vicinity and regenerates your HP by 50. I'm not really sure why it says HP plus 50 because I feel like it's a percent based on how much damage you deal. Because I have this move on my demon and it does heal me for a lot more than 50 at least. It's also mystic affinity, so if we ever run into an enemy that nulls electricity, we can always fall back on Vamp Cyclone to deal damage. It also even has a cost of MP instead of HP, so this move is just perfect for someone that wants to use the physical spins that reduce your HP by a percentage every time you use them. So we'll write that one down. So from here I'd like to add a buffing move and a reviving move. So we'll head back to the demon skills, we'll close off spin, And we'll head down to Curative, where we can, actually it'll be Support with the buffs. Now I just know that Mataru Kaja is the one we're after, so we'll open that up and take a look. So we can see that this is an AoE buff, allies in the area are buffed, and we see that it increases close range and long range attack. Now this is great because my character is a long range user, but Raiju will be a close range user, so it covers both of us in one buff. So we'll just write that one down. And the other move that I want is the Revive move, and there aren't many of them. I guess they're under healing. So the one most people go for is Samarikam, which revives you at 50% of your max HP. It's the upgraded version of Recalm, and it's quite easy to get. So that'll be a good choice for Raiju. And that is our full build. I don't want to go too hard with it because it's just an example. So now comes the tricky part, is finding a fusion path so that we can have a Raiju that ends up with all 4 of these moves. It's best to take a look at Raiju to see if it learns any naturally. And luckily for us, it learns Electrical Discharge naturally, so we don't need to worry about that one. But it doesn't learn the other 3 moves by itself. So I'm well aware that my method of working out fusion paths is probably not perfect. I wish there was a calculator to do this, but this is just how I've managed to do it over time, so we'll take a look at Vamp Cyclone. We have a list of all the demons that learn this move naturally, and if possible what we want is a demon that's already learned it. Now there's only 2, and they're both pretty annoying to get, so we'll skip that part. From there our best bet would be to find a demon we can easily contract that learns it at a low level, so we don't have to waste our apples to learn the move. We want to stay away from variations like Joyful or Accomplished, because you can't always find an Accomplished ghoul when you need it. So if we move up the list, the first one I see that is easily attained is a Succubus. So I'll write down that Succubus learns it at 45, and I guess we should write Vamp as well. So that's our candidate for Vamp, and let's try and find one for Mataru Kaja. So there's a bunch of them that's already learned it, a lot of them are accomplished, basically all of them are variants, so we want to skip those. Moving up the list, most people get a Brave Garm, but you probably don't want to waste your Brave Garm, so I guess Feng Huang is the best bet here, learning it at level 30. And finally, Samarikam. We'll take a look. So no demon learns this by default, but Kikuri Hime is a pretty easy demon to get, so we'll just stick with her for now. One thing I did forget to do is we should write down the demon family for each of these. So Succubus is a Nocturne, Feng is a Avian, and Hime is a Earth Mother. So now we have our 3 candidates to pass on the moves. We can go back to Raiju and take a look at the 2 demons we're going to fuse to make the Raiju. So we have Inugami and Nue. And we can write down some details about them. So Inugami is a beast. It is level 18 naturally, and its fusion range 26 to 35. Nue is a Wilder. It is naturally level 37, with a fusion range of 50 to 73. So now I look at the family combinations of Nue and Inugami, and I hope that an Earth Mother and an Avian, for example, can be fused together to make it. It's not likely that 2 of them are going to match up like that. It would make this a lot easier if it did. So I see that Nocturne isn't even in here at all. So it actually turns out that none of the families we need are in here at all, which is fine, it just makes a little more work for us. So we can take a look at Inugami. Nocturne is here, with a Wilder, and Earth Mother is here too. No Avian at all. So I'll just note down that Inugami can be made with a Nocturne, or an Earth Mother. So Inugami is going to be able to cover a Nocturne or an Earth. So from here, what I want to do is bust out the good old double fusion chart. So we can find that here on the Demon Fusion page, down here. So what I'm trying to do is figure out, if I were to fuse Succubus and Feng together, what would that create? So a Nocturne and an Avian. We can find Nocturne here, and we can find Avian. Avian is 7 in the lore, so we just follow the Nocturne along to lore number 7, and here we have this that says 8, and it links out to fem. So it means succubus and feng will make a fem. So I'll just write that down. So in this situation, Inugami would be covering the Earth Mother, and we'd be making a fem out of the succubus and feng. So Nue, I'm hoping, is able to take a fem. So let's take a look at Nue. It is able to be fused with a fem. So we've found the solution. Inugami will be made with the Earth Mother. Nue would be made with a fem and a fowl. So you see what I've done, I took the 2 demons that I knew I needed, Inugami and Nue, and I found a way to fuse the 3 demons that have my moves into those 2 demons. We've got the Kikuri Hime fusing into the Inugami, and we've got the Succubus and the Feng fusing into the Nue. So all these demons are passing on their moves throughout the fusion path, and eventually we're going to end up with a Raiju with all of the moves we want. So now we've sorted that out, we can clean up the plan a lot and make it a lot more clearer so it's easier to gather what we need. So I'm actually going to make a new notepad. Alright, so this is what I've come up with as a layout. We can start at the bottom, we've got Feng and Succubus will combine to become a Fem, and then we'll combine a Fem and a Fowl to become the Nue, and then we got the Hime and an Earth Element to become an Inugami, and then the Inugami and the Nue will become the Raiju. So there's a few things in here we need to fill in, such as what the Fem will be, and what the Fowl will be, and also what the Earth Element will be. So let's figure out which Fem will become of our Feng and Succubus. So that is 45 plus 30, so 75. That falls within this guy. Or this girl, rather. So that will be a Leonine, and we'll put in the level 41. Now we know we have to make these 2 demons fall within the 50 to 73 range, so we need to find a Fowl which will fit that range. So let's take a look at the Fowl list, and Moriol is able to fit within that range, so we'll put him there. He is level 11. So that'll combine to give us 52, which falls within the range. And finally we need to find an Earth Element that will combine to fit the range of Inugami, which is a very tight range. We only have 2 levels to work with here, and actually we can't do it because Kadama starts level 3. But there is a sneaky little way that you can lower the level of your demon, and that is through rebirthing. Now you may not even be aware of what rebirthing is, but essentially it's a way you train your demon by resetting the level back to 1, and you do that many times and their base stats increase. That's just a simple explanation of it. There's a lot more to it, obviously, but all we care about is the fact that it can reset a demon's level back to 1. And using that mechanic, essentially we can never mess up a build like this, because we're able to move the levels around however we wish, to always be able to fit them within the range. So I'm just going to put this as Kodama level 1, because we're going to be rebirthing it back to level 1. Now what I like to do is put a hashtag in front of all the things that I need to obtain. So we need a Feng, we need a Succubus, we don't need the Leanin because it's being fused, we need a Myo, we need the Kodama, the Kikuri, and that is all. So as we collect these demons, I can remove the hashtag and just tick off the list. Alright, let's head back into the game and collect some demons. But before we do that, I want to talk about some items that can help you when you're contracting demons. So the first thing, and definitely the most important thing, is a Lilith Soulstone on your talisman. Now we can see here that the Lilith Crystal gives you a new skill, Whisper of Temptation, which is essentially Talk on steroids. This Talk is seriously good. You can get demons within like 2 talks. But of course, if you're going to be making this yourself, it does require you have the Lilith plugin, which is locked behind a pretty long quest with a high level requirement. The Lilith Crystal is made through synthesis, so you're going to need someone that can do synthesis for you, or you can make your own Synther account. Having this item is the best quality of life you can have when you're contracting demons. Next thing I want to talk about is having a negotiation set. So we can see this fullness set, I have 3 pieces here. It's not actually a set bonus, but we can see on the characteristics, negotiation skill success rate plus 5%, and each one of them has a little bit of percent. So by wearing these, your talk success rate goes up. And there's also another set called Machina, which it's in Japanese, but these essentially just mean talk, threaten, and gift, or whatever the other one's called. So yeah, wearing these is going to help your talk out a lot. And there's also the Mobius strip, which does the same thing, but it's a ring. If you're doing double fusions, then this set called Genesis is insanely good. It gives you a 30% boost to your success rate on double fusion. A lot of double fusions are around the 1 to 10% range, so this will really help boost your chances of getting the fusion done and not wasting all your money. And just to finish it off, if you're going to be using apples to boost your demon's levels just to like meet some fusion requirements, you're going to want an XP set, which I have a bunch of gear here that gives XP bonus, so this one in particular just gives 100% to the partner, so that's insane. And there's also an item called Valentine Avatar, which can boost your friendship gain if you need to boost your friendship at all. A high friendship raises your chance of success in fusion, and it's also a requirement if you're tri-fusing to have high friendship on your demons. Alright, let's start gathering these demons, so I'll pull out all my talking gear, and might as well pull out the fusion gear too. So we're going to start out with the Kukuri Hime. Because you can't find these in the wild, you need to fuse into it. And say you wanted to figure out how to fuse this demon really easily, well, there's a great site which I can show you now. Here we are on the MegaTen fusion tool, and this has a bunch of different MegaTen games, but here is the Shin Megami Tensei Imagine right here, so we can click into that. And we can just make a search for Kukuri Hime, and we can click into this. And now we scroll down, make sure it's on normal reverse fusions, and it will show us a bunch of demons that can fuse to make Kukuri Hime. Now this site does have a few flaws though that you need to watch out for. Pretty often, the two demons that it gives you to fuse, their levels will need to be slightly higher in order to make that demon. I'm not sure why their levels are off like this, but it's usually not a big issue to just throw a few apples at your demon and get them to the level that they need. A lot of times I just cross-reference with Sesho to see if the fusion range is correct. So we can see it wants me to fuse an Alp and a Shisa, level 13 and level 8. That'll give me level 21, and we can check Kukuri Hime on the wiki, and that is indeed within the range, so we're good to go. Oh, and also Shisa is a little difficult to find in the wild. They're in Nakano Ruins. Usually I just fuse into it also by doing an Alp and a Kate Sif. I just know the combination because they're used for elementals a lot, so it's something that I've committed to memory, how to make Shisas and unicorns and stuff like that. So what we want in this case is 2 Alps and 1 Kate Sif, and that will make us our Kukuri Hime. So we're going to teleport over to the Home 3 campground, which is where there's a bunch of Kate Sifs. Oh, here they are, over here. So I'll summon out Rangda, because Rangda gives me MP reduction, so I don't waste. Oh yeah, I should actually mention that the talk skill that comes with the Lilith crystal uses a lot of mana, so you do need a solution to getting your mana back, or just not using as much. Let's give it a test. 1 try. Instantly gets the Kate Sif. Misclicks on the second one, gets it. So I'll just take that. Now Alp is a night demon only, so there's a little bit of time we have to waste before we can get Alps right now, so I'll just work on the other demons instead. So we need a Kadama, and there happens to be one right here. And let's get our speed going because we are very slow right now. Okay, he's going to say no more talking, so we'll kill him off. A lot of the time they give you treasures. I'm not really sure whether one skill is better for treasures. I think Threaten is the one you want to go if you want treasure, but Talk is usually the one that gets you contracts quicker. Okay, we got a Kadama. Oh, I can't click it. Alright, we're gonna go get a Myorel. They are over at Nakano, near the obelisk. So we'll teleport up there now. Here's one over here. Instantly gets it. Next up we want to get a Succubus, and we need to make a Feng Huang, so we need to figure out what makes Feng. So normally I just go up here and type the name like that. Saves a little bit of time, so we need a Shisa, another Shisa, and an Onmaraki, who is also a night demon, so I guess we really do have to wait for night to finish this off. Actually, we can get a Kate Sif for the Shisa. Oh, our Kate Sif egg is still here, so we'll go grab that one. Hopefully it doesn't despawn. 1 minute left, we got it. So Onmaraki is just over here. This is where they're going to spawn at late night, so I'll just wait until they do. I was pretty vague about what Ranged is actually doing. I'll explain it better. It has Magic Save 4 and Magic Save 3. I got these from Wildcat, and they're passives that affect the summoner. And what these ones do, if I would use MP, I save 70% of what I would have used because both of the passives are stacking together. Alright, the Onmaraki have spawned in, so let's try and get one. Alright, there he is. One Onmaraki. Now let's go get the Alps. They are found at the Junkerman. Oh, there's a Sarasvati boss here. Nice. She's coming after me. So it's always annoying when Alps are used in the recipes, and they're used a lot. But it's annoying because they're only found at night, so a lot of the time, well, you can't find them half the time, essentially. So here they are. We've got to get 3 of them. So there's 1, there's 2. Can we get a 3rd? Nope. And there it is. And much like Alp, the succubus we need, which is the final demon we need, is actually a night demon as well. So lucky it is night time. Let's head to the cemetery. This is a place that you need to unlock through a little quest, but it's very useful because there's Chatter Skulls up there, there's Succubus and Lilim down here, and there's just a bunch of good demons you can get at this place very easily. Alright, there's the Succubus, and that should be the final demon we need. Let's head to the cathedral. I've got my fusion gear on to boost my rate, and let's just start fusing. So first off, we're going to try and make the Shisas. So that is, there's one Shisa. We're going to fuse that Shisa with an Alp, which makes the Kikuri Hime. Did I just fail a 90% chance? I think I did. 83, oh, it wasn't so bad then. There she is. And then we make another Shisa. Fuse that Shisa with an Onmaraki to make the Fang, and there is the Fang. Now we can pull out Succubus, can pull out the Kadama and the Mo, and that is everything we need. Oh, except we need to make the Kadama level 1. So to do this, we summon him out, then we go to the cathedral guy, and we go perform a rebirth. Now this will cost you Maka depending on the level of the demon. Because it's only level 3, we're only going to get charged that much Maka. But it can go up to like 30k Maka for like a level 80 demon. So it's not too expensive, but it's super useful, so I do recommend doing this if you need to alter the levels of your demon. So now let's rebirth this Kadama. He'll go back to level 1. There it is, level 1. Okay, now that we've gathered the 5 demons that we had hashtagged, we need to level a few of these up so that they can learn the moves that we need. Okay, we'll start at the bottom. We've got Succubus needs to go to level 45. So we'll summon her out, and you see that I've swapped my talking gear with XP boosting gear. And we'll just go to Vivian over here. I may have to minimize this. And we'll just put 10 in and see how much it boosts by. So it was basically nothing, so we're going to have to go maybe 100. We're trying to get it to 45. There's 41, another 100 will probably get it decently close. 45 exactly, okay. Now to learn the move we want, we need to right click on the demon head and go to acquire skills, and here it is, Vamp Cyclone in the learn skills. Now, if we fuse on her right now, she won't pass it on because she hasn't learnt it yet. So we'll just push that over there, and now she has Vamp Cyclone. Next was Feng Huang, who needs to learn Marta at level 30. Summon him out. I'll put like 50 into him. He's level 29. 10 more should do it. And if we do overlevel him, it's not a big deal. We can just always rebirth and try again. So here's the Marta move we need. Now he has that. And the other thing we had to do is level Kukui Hime to level 33 to learn Samarikam. Alright, there she is, to level 33. And she has Samarikam. There are the 3 moves that we want, all ready to go. So let's start to follow the plan from the bottom. So we need to fuse the Feng with the Succubus. Feng, Succubus. We can see it is making the demon we want, that was Leonan. And we can see down here, inherited skills, it learns Vamp Cyclone and Marta. So let's do that. We've got a 38% chance. Actually, I'm not wearing my fusion gear, so let me put that on. That's better, 68%. We'll do that right now. And there she is. So we can summon her out, and we'll just take a look at her skills. And we see we have this new page, Inherited Skills, with a bunch of percentages. She hasn't actually learned Vamp Cyclone or Marta yet. And the way that we can increase that percentage to get to 100% and then she will learn it, the way we do that is she needs to be hit by the same type of move. In this case, Vamp Cyclone is Mystic. She needs to be hit by Mystic moves so she can learn Vamp Cyclone. And in the case for Marta, which is a support, she needs to be hit by support moves so she can learn it herself. The more powerful the move she's hit by, the faster the bar will go up. There is this great page on Sesho that lists out all the good places you can go to find certain elements to be hit by, to inherit your moves. So we're going to go to the Mystic area, near the bottom, and we've got a bunch of different options. Some of them are better than others, depends on how often they spam the move. So just from experience, I know that going to Shinjuku Docks would be a good place to learn this, because those Lilims spam Death Touch and Soul Stuck a lot. And we can check the curative. It'll just say that you need to have someone else spam curative moves on your demon. So you can maybe get a friend to do that, or a clanmate. It doesn't take too long to inherit curative moves if someone else is helping you out with it. So I'll give you an example of how you inherit a move. Gonna head down to Shinjuku Docks, and hopefully there's gonna be a bunch of Lilims waiting for us. There is indeed. Now, the idea is you want to stand back and let your demon get hit. So I've already aggroed this one, we'll probably have to ignore that one. But there should be some more out here that can deal some damage to us. And hopefully this 63% will increase. See? It went up to 77. So it's very quick. This will be done in no time. If your demon is particularly weak, you may need to send your player in to heal him up, because dying's not going to help you here. Okay, there's 100%. Now we'll get out of here so we're not harassed by Lilims anymore. And we can just drag Vamp Cyclone into the learn moves. Just like that. So I found someone that's willing to spam buffs on my demon, so we're gonna get them to spam some buffs now. You see it went up to 79, 95, and done. We can move that over to the acquired skills, and now we have a Leonin that has both the skills we wanted. Now that we have the Leonin, we can see we need to fuse Leonin with the Myoro, and that'll make a Nue, which we will also have to inherit the 2 moves onto the Nue as well. So there it is, you can see that he's learning the 2 moves that we want. 95% chance, we'll fuse him up. And I'll go inherit his moves. Alright, got those ones inherited, we'll just pop them on. There it is. Next up we need to fuse the Kukurihime with the Kodama to make an Inugami that is learning Sama Rikam. That's how you inherit Rikam, is by getting your demon healed. And we pull this up and we see we're at 31%, and one meteor bumps it up by 3%, so it's pretty slow going, but I guess you'll get there eventually. Alright, and that's Sama Rikam fully mastered. We'll pop that on, and now we're good to finally fuse the Raiju. Let's do it. Can check, make sure it's learning the 3 moves that we want. So it starts with Electrical Discharge, it's learning Vamp Cyclone, Mataru Kaja, and Sama Rikam. I have the plugin, so it's gonna make a Raiju. If not, it would just make a dwarf, I guess. And we've got a 100% chance. Let's finally do it. This has been a long video. And there is the Raiju. The final steps is to let Raiju inherit all 3 moves, and then he's done. It is finished. 3 moves are learnt. We'll plop them on. And there we are. The finished product. Raiju. Let's go test him out. I usually head to Wano when I need to test things out, because there's demons right here. And here's a Datsube spawning just for us. Let's Electrical Discharge him away. Nice. Can buff me up. Can revive me if I need to. And he can re-heal himself using Vamp Cyclone. Oh, it's blocked. Alright guys, so that's how I build a demon from scratch. Now I actually really want you to critique my method. I want you to help me get better at this, because this is just a made up strategy that I've come up with over the time that I've been playing this game, and surely there's a better way to do it, or something that I'm doing wrong. Please let me know. Something I should mention is that there is a way that you can add moves onto your demon after they've been fully built and fused, and that's through Wildcat and TMG. Wildcat has most of the abilities that people would want, so it's probably an easier way to just add some Wildcat moves onto your demon once it's done. But there are some moves that you can only get through this fusion path method, so it is useful information. Hope you guys enjoyed. Raiju out.